Good morning, welcome to today's update. This is Kim speaking on Thursday the 2nd of March. So let's have a look through these markets, but before we do so, as ever, let's have a look at the potential risks of the markets. We're starting off looking at inflation this morning coming out at 10 o'clock for the Eurozone. We've already seen the individual countries' data, as I seem to remember, so this will have a lower impact, but may still for those that have not seen it, create some impact at 10 a.m. there. Unemployment claims US this afternoon doesn't really do too much these days. Then the rest of the stuff's at post our normal trading session. Looking for speakers then, we have some speakers. We've got Fed Logan, Fed Bostic, so we've got some Fed speakers kicking out, almost getting into the evening session there, so nothing massive expected number wise or economically. So let's get on and look at the markets. We'll start off looking at euro dollar as ever, and we'll start off looking from the big picture downwards. So what's the big picture tell us? In fact, what the market's doing currently, it looks quite ugly. It has got its monthly pivot above. It's in this sort of downward move. It broke the trend. It's put lower highs in. However, it's been struggling to try and show us it's turning the corner here. We've seen on this 4-hourly, we've got the higher lows sat that it was confirmed yesterday, breaking out of this sort of shorter term trend. However, in the bigger scheme of things, is this just a blip in terms of something that's going to roll over some more, or are we going to get a bit more of a shove up? And we're sort of close to a point where I think would be a good turning point, so we'll see what happens here. If it's going to be pivotal, this is going to probably be it. It's into its weekly pivot, daily pivot at the moment, around that area, just fractionally below. It's into a prior high there. It's got a 34 moving average sitting below it. Post 8 o'clock, I'd wait and see if this pulls up here. There are signs of weakness on the lower time frames here. We have got a lower high, but that may just be an ABC correction. The correction may be over, it may be just a smaller move. We've seen these sort of moves before. It's always a struggle for a currency pair when it's turning a corner. So this is the battle that's going on at the moment. Is it going to turn, or is it going to just fail? If it just continues moving down here, where the S1 could be on, it's just to say, in the bigger scheme of things, it's not looking the prettiest. So that's the euro. Pound, I don't have a timely trade on the euro at the moment either, so it's a case for either or, and see if it waits, it sets up. The pound's ugly in terms of what it's doing here. Whilst the euro was having a good up day, the pound was having a bit of a down day there yesterday, and it put in a little pivot swing on the 4-hourlies here. It's ranging. It's not looking good. I mean, you're looking over the last 3 weeks, but this week, 4th week, and it's just ranged and it's ugly. It's come out of favour with me. It's hit its daily pivot, hit its S1. Not a lot to be done on that. We'll leave it alone. US dollar yen. This is another one that's not been particularly great. It has got this trend that's sort of sitting up there, but it's it's a bit variable. It did come off yesterday, give us a lower higher, only to now see it rallying through the Asian session. And continue with the major trend that's sitting there. The R1's not that far above, and that that weekly R1 could well be where it's off to. It hasn't hit the daily pivot today, already hit the R1. Reasonable chance of it running up to that R2, little retrace, and it might be off. It might just keep going at the rate it's going, but it's not. There's no trade there for me today. Aussie US dollar. Aussie US dollar still looking soft in the bigger picture here. Lower high was obviously the catalyst for all of this. It's broken down since. It's the swing trade I missed, which would yesterday it was trying to. It's got within a smidgen of its weekly pivot there, and it looks soft from where it is at the moment. So we're seeing seeing it look like we could just see a continuation of these moves, lower highs coming through. So soft old movement, looking soft. It could yet run off down towards its S1, maybe even lower to these prior lows or beyond. So looking soft at this stage. I will just wait post 8 o'clock, see what happens there. I don't think the risk reward's particularly great, or it isn't particularly great. I can tell you at the moment, if you were looking at something like this, we'd probably be looking at a lower entry anyway, or I would stop. You need it's only 22 pips, but it's only about 17 to go for, or maybe it'd be a squeeze to get anything. We don't know whether it's going to break these lows. The probability is good for the S1, maybe to those lows, but then it's the unknown. US dollar CAD is a mess, I can see that from here, but it has become a bit of a mess. It's really, you just look at the daily bars, the amount of overlap that's in them. There's a lot of overlap in terms of the up bars and down bars, and it seems like it's a red day or a green day. I remember someone selling that out on social media. They did this analysis for red days or green days, and that was it. Anyway, needless to say, it probably wouldn't have made anyone money apart from the person selling the course. Consolidated where it sits here at the moment, it does look like the upside potential, but it's ugly. I can't pick a trade out of that. I mean, yes, it's looking good for its R1, and maybe again a bit like the Aussie, really, the prior highs there. I think that with what's going on here, the trend is certainly still looking like it's to the upside. Can't see anything immediate on that. So cross pairs yesterday, well, the pair that gave us a trade and I didn't see coming was the pound yen, and it was slightly against the overall picture here. This picture was sort of suggesting upsides, etc. Well, slightly above it, against it, but I just caught the move down here. This move down back towards its weekly pivot. There we go, clean as a whistle move. Just a very straightforward flag. That was yesterday. Targeted the S1. Looked like at one stage it was going to go on forever, but the target was the S1. That was the plan there. The prior highs there sitting across that area as well. That was the target, and that was it, and that's where it stopped for now. For today, well, could it roll again? Possibly. I don't like how tight a consolidate it is at the moment. It could come to something, but and it looks like a rollover would be potential, but as I say, it's just a bit consolidated. The stop would be quite tight, too tight for me. I'd have to put the stop above the 50 there. It would give a return. We'll see. But as I say, at the moment I'm struggling across some of these to see. I mean, the pound Aussie we were just looking at a moment ago. This is already in a bearish move. You look at the bigger time frames, and it's a case of look here. We've got the pivot swing on the dailies here. It's got the monthly pivot below, although it has got that obvious trend that's here, the higher lows on the 4-hourly, but when you start coming down, you see the cracks here, and it's really whether it breaks these lows here. It could be right on for more of a swing down towards its weekly pivot. In the current trading conditions, I've been doing very few swings. Had some swing ideas, but it's been for me more of a day trade world, and we'll see what happens with this. At the moment, it's pushing up. We may get a complete reversal and an opportunity to the downside there. So as I say, not a great deal kicking around at the moment, but with the soft pound, some of these other pairs may just be a better opportunity. We'll see. This could, of course, if it breaks the highs here, go completely opposite way and go back into bigger trend. Right, on that note, let's go and have a look at, I was just saying about goodbye, but I'll have a quick look at the indices here for you and look at gold. First, discussing this with someone yesterday, I can't remember who now. It might have been on the Discord channel. Anyway, lower highs running through here. Gold would be nice if it ran back into its new monthly pivot there for a potential short. It's bigger picture here, still looking soft. It has, like the euro though, broken the trend that was coming down here, higher lows. I'm not convinced at the moment. Dollar strength seems to be the back on the cards there. Talking of dollar strength, let's look at crud. Still in its range really. I mean, there's intraday trades to be had on it on some days, but not all days, and it's looking quite ugly. So I'd steer away from that at the moment. Right. Sorry. Just about to say, I'll just have a quick look at the major indices. All off today in the futures. Just looking at the futures market with very little. CSI 300, very little down there. I'm not sure. I was expecting this to continue and push upwards with a pivot swing there. It was slightly more bullish with a flaggy sort of pattern and everything, but struggling. And the Nikkei, well, this has had a horrid time of late, he says. Oh, it's not that horrid, but it's just choppy. It's the Nifty 50. It's had the horrid time of late. Still potentially in the bull flag, but today, I mean, it's closed down there, so not convincing. But a break of the trend across the highs here could see further upside. And the Nifty 50 just looking a little further, and as expected, it's just rolled back down again today and still rolling. So this to me is a pretty bearish market that's sitting there. S&Ps, these were starting to roll yesterday, and we've seen a continuation this morning already. And it looks like the S1's going to be on for before we see the pivot hit this month, in which case, if it is, it just points to me towards possibly more of a correction technically down to this S2 area. We'll see what it does. S1 first is not a good sign. We want pivot hit first for the potential for upside here. Looking at the Dow Jones, similar soft picture yesterday. It did actually push up there. It's a little bit better, but did push them, roll down. And the Nasdaq, I think technically a lot of data coming out there wasn't particularly bullish, and off it's gone. I think even Tesla's Musk's master plan didn't save or won't have saved the Nasdaq yesterday. Right, DAX close to home here, still choppy, but starting to roll over a little bit more. It might just run out of. Just might be a bit exhausted here. Looking okay for its S1, potentially today, tomorrow. It's just looking that bit softer, as is the FTSE. It's been having a fantastic ride. The only thing with the FTSE, I wouldn't bet against it at the moment. There's just that potential all of a sudden we get a bit of a surge. It takes out these highs and off it's gone. So I'm still sort of sitting there looking, waiting. Right, and finally, I haven't looked at them for a while. Don't know if I even looked at Mondays. Just a quick look at Bitcoin. Those Bitcoin followers, there you go. That's why I haven't looked at it since Monday, because it's had 5 days sideways. Right, on that note, and it doesn't look bullish from here. It's lost its shine. It was sort of looking okay, saying that it might be doing what we saw down here. It just had a lot of sideward action. Perhaps it's waiting for the weekend for the light volume to see a push up. We'll see, but not looking great. Right. On that note, I wish you a great day's trading, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Sorry. Yep, Miko, I agree with. Yeah, weaker data hasn't really affected too much. Sorry, it's just a comment here on the dollar there. The weaker US data isn't affecting it too much because it's being held up by the risk, the geopolitical risk out there. There you go. That's the term for the morning. But it could just be a bit range bound. To me, it's a battle between the effectively Fed and the ECB here, and it's one that neither probably is going to win for now. Yeah, we could be in chop for a while. On that even less happy news, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Bye for now.